Well, I'm on the farm today and the drought continues. The creek is mighty low. When I say drought, here in this area, it's severe drought. You go to the east and to the south, and it's extreme drought. Here, we've had a shower or two. You know, we got maybe a quarter inch of rain. There it is. Now, I got a dilemma, and we'll talk about it here for just a little bit. So, this grass is really short. The next two pictures that I insert here in this video is May 25th, 2021. I believe that's the date, 2021. And today is, I don't even know what today is, but we're in May of 2026. And you can see the difference in the height when you look in this and at those pictures. Take close note to this old bird house, this old bird feeder, and look at the height of the grass. Compared to that 2021 picture where the grass was up to here. So I've got a haymaker's dilemma. And you know, this is the 15th of May. I was drawing a blank on that. But we got really nice weather. It's kind of overcast a little bit. I shouldn't say overcast. There's some clouds up there. And then tomorrow it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be somewhat cloudy with a chance of some showers. And then that will take us to Monday and Tuesday, where it's going to be sunny skies, and it's going to be in the low 90s. Now, today it was cold. Last night at my house, the furnace was kicking on and off all night long. And a friend of mine that lives, probably about 80 miles north of here, he told me that it was 34 degrees at his house. So we got the drought working against us, but we also got some cold temperatures that are kind of keeping the grass somewhat at bay. But the dilemma that I've got is some of this stuff is starting to head out. The orchard grass in particular. Man, I'm not seeing much in the way of fescue, but it's in here, and of course Timothy would come later. It's in here too. But what I'm concerned about is if I wait, then the seed heads come, the grass gets overripe, and the next thing you know, I got brown stems. I had planned on clipping this field and all of my fields to some extent if it would have been a normal year with rain. I had planned on clipping these fields and taking basically second cutting, but because it's such a shortage of moisture that we've had, and just everywhere, all over Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, this might as well be a clipped hay field, and my batwing bush hog will clip 12 to 13 inches. There's I don't even know if I got that in here. And if I wanted any volume, I'd need to set my cutter almost down to the ground, which I really don't like to do. Um, but uh, I'm getting some calls from people that are concerned about hay. I had a guy call me the other day, and he's a regular hay customer, and they were down in North Carolina, and he said the hay down there was it was so dry that people were the whatever's growing in is not enough to keep their horses fed in their paddocks. And then I'm hearing that amongst the cattlemen, that they may be feeding round bales during the summer. In fact, I drove by. I call it a freedom drive, and that's where I get out and I make a big loop and get out and drive through the countryside. And I enjoy that. 2-lane roads, and I'll listen to podcasts and such. But I also kind of watch and see who's cutting hay and who's not. And to the extent I can see a barn from the road as I drive by, and I can peer in, I look to see how much hay is left. And we had a glut of hay last year, and I've got hay round bales left over. And but right now it's looking like everything I'm hearing that whatever's left over is going to be fed out, and that the cattlemen in particular are going to be having a rough time finding hay, to support their cattle through the winter. And of course, beef prices are probably at an all-time high right now. And if these cattlemen have to start selling their cows, and I had talked to a guy on my drought 2026 video where he said he was selling a few cattle already to get ahead of this. So that'll just make the beef prices go even higher. But I guess it would reduce demand for hay to some extent. But we're going to make as many squares as we can. But here's my dilemma, Do I cut during this weather window we got, or do I wait, another couple weeks, maybe till Memorial Day weekend? And my gut tells me to wait, and that's actually what I'm doing. And the reason is because typically around here, when the temperatures get into the 90s, there's always thunderstorms, pop-up thunderstorms. And the weather guessers are saying, oh no, the humidity's low enough that you shouldn't have to worry about that. And well, honestly, without being disparaging, but it is the truth. I think a lot of haymakers would agree that it's hard to count on the weathermen, the weather people, the weather guessers these days. I've been on this farm in the past couple years, and it's showing sunny skies and it's pouring down rain. The only thing they're right about is when it does rain. When they predict rain, it usually rains, but when they predict dry conditions, it's a risky thing to make hay in some ways. But anyway, just a short video. My dilemma is, do I cut now or do I wait and risk that the grass gets over mature? My inclination is to cut later, and since it's not all that tall, if I start seeing the stems turn, then I'll just clip them off the field, and I'll cut hay another day. So that's the video. I did see a couple people with hay on the ground on my Freedom Drive, but not here on this farm. We'll talk to you later.